Good afternoon, students. So, in previous class, we have seen about the introduction of ultrasonics and generation of ultrasonic waves, right? So, in today's class, I will explain you some of the applications of ultrasonic waves. So, I already said ultrasonic is a Latin word which means ultra means beyond, sonic means sound. So, the sound range beyond 20 kilohertz is known as a ultrasonic sound waves. So normally humans can hear 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. If the range is beyond the 20 kilohertz, we can call it as a ultrasonic sound waves. So we cannot hear those sound waves. Now we will see the applications of ultrasonic waves. So ultrasonics found a number of industrial applications and are listed below. So we have seen like ultrasonic stroboscope, ultrasonic as a means of communication, testing of materials by ultrasonics, dispersive and colloidal effect of ultrasonics, coagulating action of ultrasonics, separation of mixtures by ultrasonics, cutting and machining of hard materials, degassing of liquids by ultrasonic waves, physico and chemical effects of ultrasonics, chemical effects of ultrasonics, thermal effects of ultrasonics, and the last one is biological effects of ultrasonics. So in today's class, we will see the first three or four applications. So first one is a ultrasonic stroboscope. So in simple words, we can say a stroboscope is an instrument which is used to make a cyclically moving object appear to be a slow moving or a stationary. So mainly this ultrasonic stroboscope will consisting of a lamp. It may be a flash tube which produces a brief repetitive flashes of a light. So whenever the light is diffracted by a stationary ultrasonic wave, the frequency of light becomes twice the frequency of a sound. So the light will be used for a stroboscopic illumination, and these stroboscopes are mainly used to measure the RPM, machinery observation, and vibration monitoring and in sound wave length in liquids. So this is about the ultrasonic stroboscope. Now we will see how ultrasonics as a mean of communication. So these devices will allow us to connect two sensors with RS-232 and TTL or RS-485 interfaces, which are one of the most common interfaces in underwater sensors. So we can use this in underwater. So if you observe in the pictures clearly, and the frequency range is from 2.412 gigahertz to 2.472 gigahertz, and these values corresponding to the spectrum used by the devices operating under the IEEE 802.11b by G standard at 2.4 gigahertz. And so the antenna here we are using is a monopole antenna with a 2 dB of a gain. So that is about the ultrasonic as a means of communication. So mainly it is used under the water. So underwater sensors. And the next one is a testing of materials by ultrasonic waves. So the ultrasonic waves may be used for a large number of non-destructive tests on different materials. Two of these are, first one is ultrasonic flaw detection and second one is ultrasonic study of a structure of matter. So first one is the ultrasonic flaw detection. So in last class, I have explained in detail about the ultrasonic flaw detection and various methods in the ultrasonic flaw detection. So again, we'll see in a short way. So ultrasonic flaw detection block diagram here you can see. So there you're having a master timer, time-based amplifier, and a CRT echo signal amplifier, and a signal pulse generator, and the workpiece, and so probe, which is a transducer. So it is the block diagram. So the principle of a ultrasonic flaw detector is, so whenever there may be a change in the medium, the ultrasonic waves are reflected. So by using the intensity of the reflected echoes, we can detect the flaws without destroying the materials. So here you can see the ultrasonic flaw detector machine. So there you're having a high frequency generator, amplifier, C and D. So which are a transducers. So in the figure, you can observe the C and D, right? So they are the transducers, CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope. So, and in so A means indent pulses, Z means pulse reflected from the flow, and B pulse reflected from the bottom of the specimen. So you can clearly observe those here A, B, Z. In the figure, you can see A, B, Z. So here we can see. So oscillator generate a high frequency electrical waves, and probe will convert that electrical waves into a sound waves of a some frequency. So here probe is acting like a transducer. So we already know the work of a transducer, right? So transducer is a device which converts one form of energy into another form of energy. So this probe is converting the electrical waves into a sound waves of a some frequency. And the next one is a test piece. So whenever the ultrasound travels through the test piece and reflects back with the test place, and probe receives this reflected or transmitted ultrasound waves and converts it into a electrical signal. So again it is converting it into a electrical signal, and that signal is processed on the time scale, and finally it displays on the screen. And now we will see the ultrasonic study of a structure of matter. So ultrasonic flaw detection has been progressively improved for displaying a smaller and smaller inhomogeneities in the metals. So inhomogeneities means the meaning we can say a lack of uniformity of a structure, or lack of uniformity of a composition. So simply made up of a different things. Non-homogeneity means. So the frequency of the sound wave and the sensitivity of the method have been progressively increased. A limit of this improvement is reached when the wavelength of the ultrasonic wave became comparable with the size of the crystal grain of the test metal. So at this stage, the medium will ceases to behave as a homogeneous medium for the sound, and results multiple ultrasonic reflections and interferences caused by the scattering of a sound waves at the boundaries of a metal grains. And the attenuation of a ultrasonics in metals depend on the crystalline structure. So attenuation means so opposite of amplification, the loss of a signal strength, or we can call it as attenuation. So increasing the signal strength is known as amplification. So the attenuation of ultrasonics in metals dependent on the crystalline structure of the metal, and heat treatment is given to the metal. And this makes it possible to study the structure of the metal and determination of grain size from the knowledge of the attenuation of ultrasonic waves. So here we will use this ultrasonic frequencies in the range in between 1 to 20 megahertz. So that is about the ultrasonic study of a structure of matter. So that is about the today's class. So in today's class, we have seen the few applications of a ultrasonic waves. So in today's class, we have seen ultrasonic stroboscope and ultrasonic as a means of communication, and testing of materials by ultrasonics. So in testing of materials by ultrasonics, we are having a ultrasonic flaw detection. So in that ultrasonic flaw detections, we are having a various methods. So all those methods are I have explained in the previous video. So that's it for the today's class. So we will see the next applications in the next class. From here onwards, we will see in the next class. Thanks for watching.